For a lot of us here in the Southern Hemisphere, it's time to say goodbye to our hand knit wardrobe for the remainder of the year. We're going into spring here in Australia, the weather is warming up, and I just am not going to get a lot of wear out of a lot of my jumpers. They take up heaps of space, so I want to store them away for summer. But since I've been wearing them all winter long, and before I store them away, I need to wash them. It's important so that not only am I not opening up a box full of dirty jumpers next year, but also to keep the moths and carpet beetles away. So since today is such a beautiful sunny day and it's really windy outside, I think it's the perfect time to hand wash all of my knits and get them ready to store away. A problem for future me to solve is exactly where and how I'm going to store them. This time last year I had much fewer knits and now I've got quite a lot to deal with. So let me just show you the scale of what I'm going to be washing. So this is my load of laundry for today. I'll quickly take you through what I've got just as a reminder. My low-tide sweater, Nord sweater, two-fold v-neck, self-drafted zipper sweater, Nestoria jumper, and some ready-to-wear clothes that are made of wool, so they need to be treated with a bit of care. I have this beautiful milky green cardigan with pearl buttons, this incredibly soft hot pink cashmere pullover, and a lovely creamy cabled white pullover. So I think that's about 8 things that need to be hand washed, dried, and then stored away. So my approach is going to be, I'm going to take these into the laundry now. I'm going to run a basin full of soapy water with wool soap in there, and I'm going to wash them from lightest to darkest and try to reuse the water as much as I can. A lot of these haven't really been worn that much, they're not going to be that dirty, so I'll play it by ear a little bit. Once they're all washed, I'm going to wring them out, lay them outside on a clothes horse to dry. Hopefully they'll dry today. And then I'm going to turn my attention to the problem of where and how to store them. So let's go. I'm going to take these outside and try to wring out as much water as I can in a towel and then get them laid out to dry. Oh my god. That is, if I can pick this up. Oh. Now, while all that stuff is drying outside, I thought I'd show you my closet situation and what I'm working with in terms of space. So this is where all my clothes live. As you can see, it's not a huge amount of space. And my solution for storing knits until now has been this. So up the top here, I have this kind of container. I think I have two of these. They're 25-litre containers and they're pretty much weatherproof, and I've been folding up and storing my knits in here. And I've just opened it and I have some knits in here that I forgot about. So these haven't been washed. I've got a store-bought knit jumper. I've got my very first knit jumper, and I have my high school like commemorative hoodie. Is that an Australian thing? It's like a varsity jumper. Anyway, those are stored in here. So there's not a lot of room. As you can see, you could probably fit like 3 or 4 jumpers per box. So I do have a second one of these. That's gonna have to be my solution. Either that or get some bigger boxes. I do have quite a bit of space up the top here, but there's not a shelf or anything. So you kind of have to use up the vertical space as best you can. I also have a drawer in my chest of drawers here dedicated to knitwear. So I can keep some in the drawer. It just feels like a bit of a waste of space in the summertime since I'm not going to be using them. And also it's not airtight or insect proof. I'm going to have a scrounge around. I'm going to see what I've got in terms of boxes, or I might go out and buy a new one. And I'm also going to refresh my cedar balls, which I put in with my knitwear to discourage insects. As a final line of defense for insects, I also have moth traps. So as you can see, there's one just here, which is catching a lot of stuff. This is really gross. You've been warned. So this goes into your closet. It has a pheromone inside and it traps bugs. And as you can see, there are quite a few moths in there, which weren't there last time. So that says to me I need to do a bit of a clean out and make sure that none of my clothes are being eaten. So yeah, I'm going to clean some of this out. I've already turned over all of my summer and winter clothes in the rest of my drawers. I vacuumed out the drawers. I'll just check there's no other like wool or cotton items that are kind of stuffed at the back of a drawer somewhere or fallen down the back, because that tends to be what insects like to feast on. So I'll do a bit of a clean out. I'll replace that moth trap with a fresh one, and I'll come up with a solution to store my knits so that when they're dry, I can pop them in a box, put in some cedar balls and pack them away for the season. These are all dry, so I'm gonna also do a little bit of depilling just before I put them away. So I decided to keep out a couple of pieces since it's only the start of spring and there's probably going to be some more cold weather to come. I'm going to keep out my Nord sweater, the short sleeve colourwork, and this really thin cabled pullover, as well as this cardigan, because I have no other cardigans. I'm going to keep these ones out just for now, see if I need them over the next few weeks. And I am going to put away 4 of my hand knits and 1 of my ready to wear knits. And I found a second one of these tubs, so I think I'm going to just pop it into here. I also always keep desiccant pouches in the bottom of my wool storage, especially when I've recently washed the piece, because you just never know if it's fully dry, and I really don't want to put something away for 6 months and then pull it out and it's musty. So let's see if I can fit these 5 in here. I think I will be able to. Just. Okay, so when I need to put those others away, we're going to run into some issues, but that's not my problem. So now I've got this one and the other one, and they're going to go back up in that cupboard. And just like that, I'm all squared away for spring. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I had a little knitwear spa day, got reacquainted with my winter wardrobe and put it away for summer. I'd love to know from you, 1, how many winter knits do you have? And 2, how and where do you store them, especially over summer? If anything I did or said in this video piqued your curiosity, or you just have some tips you want to share with me, please do so below. I'd love to have a chat. And whether you're going into spring or you're heading into autumn, wherever you live, I hope you're having a really great season. And I'll see you again soon. Bye!